Hey, it is Craig the Pool Man with Pool Specialist. Today we have a short video for you on how to inline vac, hose vac, whatever you want to call it, to hose vac your pool. And we have a bunch of equipment here. I've got somebody that's going to help explain this for you and demonstrate how it goes. It can get confusing, but there are different reasons why you would use different equipment and what also may be available to you. Okay, we have Luke here to help us demonstrate how this all works. Luke has a 3-section pole right now, and this is actually a dually, so it has a cam and it also has a lock on the end of it. So if you extend it out and you give it a little bit of twist, you'll find that it'll lock. And that cam will lock, but then you also want to use the part that you can tighten it up with, as Luke is doing right now. That way, as you're moving the vacuum around, you don't over tighten the pole or loosen the pole. And that's your top section, and go ahead and extend your other section out, and that has the same cam action. You never want to overextend this, because if you extend them too far, you wind up bending the pole and then you can't put it back together. So my recommendation is never go more than about 2/3 to 3/4 of a full section. All right, next we have another pole, which we refer to as a snap pole. And you'll notice it has a little button on it, and that allows you to pull it out, and there's different spots that it'll snap into place. We're actually getting some of these poles that are now a dual extension, so it'll be like the other pole, and you'll actually be able to extend it up to about 20 feet. All right, next, as we go through it, there's different vac heads. We have our regular vac head, which this is a commercial size, so this is going to be a little bit bigger than you're going to find came with your residential kit. And if we want to get things vacuumed up quick, that works great. We also have what's called a triangle vac, and the triangle vac, as you notice, has brushes on the bottom of it. This is great if you've got some algae or some stuff on the bottom of the pool that you can actually have to brush and push to get it off. So those are the two types. Then right underneath Luke's feet is a vac canister. All right, what's the purpose of this? The purpose of this is you put this in the actual vacuum line, in line with it, and it allows the water to get filtered. It doesn't get stuck in the actual plumbing in the pool, whether you're going through a vac port or whether you're going through a skimmer. Alternatively, if you're going through a skimmer, you could use a skimmer plate and keep the basket in place. All right, next we have this little blue thing that looks like a weird Coke bottle, and that is called a gizmo. So if you have multiple skimmers in your pool and you only have one valve to shut off your skimmer, you are going to need to have enough of these to close off all but one of the skimmers, because in order to get sufficient suction, you're going to want to shut down your main drain, and you're going to want to shut down all but the skimmer or the vac port that you're actually using. All right, next we have on the bottom of Luke's feet, we call this a vac to waste pump. And we use this when you have a fine silt in the bottom of the pool and we're just looking to get it out of the pool. And yes, we are going to waste the water, but when you have a fine silt, a lot of times you have issues with it coming through the filter or clouding up the water. Another reason that you would want to use a vac to waste is you have calcium that dropped out in the bottom of your pool. You don't want that getting back into the filter, because the water pressure could potentially allow that calcium to redissolve in the pool at water, and then it's going to drop out once again. All right, then if we come over to this other device that we have over here, this is actually a portable filter, and this would allow us to filter the water before it goes back into the pool. Come out over a little bit more, and of course we have the skimmer lid open, and that's one of the places that we're going to demonstrate how this hose actually works. Okay, the first thing that we're going to have to do is we have to put the vacuum on the bottom of the pole. So you are going to have to extend the pole out a little bit so that you can actually fit the vacuum on. And go ahead, Luke, show us how that fits on there. And you'll notice that there's a little white clip, and you want to make sure that that clip falls into that button. And so now the vac head will not fall away from the pole. But when you're done vacuuming it, then you can push the little buttons and you can remove the vac head from the bottom of the pole. Okay, so here's a standard 50-foot vac hose. You'll notice the one end of this hose is blue and it swivels. And if you were to read very carefully on there, it says connect to vac head, while the other end of the hose does not swivel. And that is very, very important because that side does not allow air to come through. That side is the side that you have to connect to your pump, in your skimmer, to your vac port, something of that nature. So the swivel side would actually suck air. The other reason why you want the swivel side is because as you're turning the vac head around, you want to make sure that it doesn't kink the hose and cause any knots in the hose as you're vacuuming the pool. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take this vac hose and we're just going to lay it out on the deck, literally unroll it and put it on the deck. You want to get all the loops out of the hose because that's would actually get in your way. Now, it's very important that we get this vac hose filled with water. So we're going to attach that to the head of the vac head. And then we're going to take the vac head and we're going to submerge it into the water, and we're going to feed the hose directly down into the water. And once that's at the bottom of the pool, you're literally going to bend down and push the hose into the water, forcing the water into the hose, the air out at the far end, so that this whole hose can fill with water. If you don't fill the hose with water, then what happens is when you connect it up to the pump, it causes the pump to cavitate and lose prime because you're trying to suck all this water through this hose, and you have a bunch of air that's getting in the way of sucking that water. So once you get to the end of the hose, literally submerge it into the water. And then you can bring that back up to your pump. First, we're going to show you how to use the vac to waste pump. So go ahead and connect that to the vac to waste pump. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we have to prime this pump up. So we're going to take a bucket of water. We're going to dump that into there. We'll put our lid back on. And now we can start our pump. And open your valve. And now normally we would have the water going off into the woods somewhere, but in this case we don't need to waste the water. So this would allow us to vacuum the pool and waste all the water. Once this thing primes up, it'll actually go to a slower speed, and you can adjust that speed because it's a variable speed pump so that you can get the best efficiency out of vacuuming the pool and wasting the least amount of water. Next, we're going to go over and we're going to show you the actual priming up of the portable filter. Okay, so now this is the portable vacuum. This actually has a cartridge in it, and so therefore we can vacuum it and we can put the water back into the pool. This works great if the customer doesn't have a system that's sufficient enough for vacuuming the pool into their own circulation system. Maybe they have a cartridge filter, maybe they have a DE filter, maybe they just don't have enough oomph with the pump, and so this is a very convenient way to handle this. So go ahead and pop open the pump basket, and we're going to go ahead and fill that with water. We have our hose connected. Of course, the hose, we had put it into the water the way that we demonstrated earlier, so there's no air in that hose. And now if you turn on the pump and open that valve, that pump will prime up, and now we can vacuum the pool using the actual vacuum, and it will filter out all the dirt. And after we get done, as soon as we're done, we're going to want to take that cartridge out, and we're going to want to clean the cartridge filter, because if you let it dry out, everything becomes like concrete, and then it's just impossible to clean, and you'll have to replace it. Alright, so Luke has a vacuum canister in his hands, and I highly recommend that you use this so that you don't suck up toys or gumballs or anything that clog up your skimmer line. Alternatively, you could use a skimmer plate that goes over the basket. Do not remove the basket, because then that's going to stop the toys and the gumballs from going down. So you'll notice on the ground that there's the blue gizmo, and that's what it's called. It's called an ultimate gizmo. And if you have multiple skimmers, then you're going to need to screw this into one of your skimmers, or 2 to 3 of your skimmers, so that you can get sufficient suction out of your one skimmer. Now, to make this canister work, of course, as we submerged the hose so that it didn't have any water in it, now we have to submerge this canister and get all the air out of it. And once you have all the air out of it, then you will connect your vac hose to it, and then you can take the other side and you can bring it down, and of course the hose fits right into the suction side of the skimmer, and it will allow it to start vacuuming. And that vac canister is definitely directional. The vac canister, you'll notice you want to make sure that you've got it connected up so that the hose is coming into the part that actually filters it and actually has a little bag, and then the output of that goes to your skimmer. Alright, so now if you have a high-end pool, a lot of the builders put in vac ports, and what you're going to need is you're going to need a vac port adapter, and you're going to take that vac adapter and you're going to screw it into the vacuum port. It's a regular 1.5" thread, standard NPT, and then you're going to follow all the same procedures for making sure that you have water in the hose and no air, and you've got your vac canister in place, and then you can just connect that to that vac port. Make sure the vac port's turned on at the pump pad, and you're ready to go. Again, if you have a vac port, you're probably going to want to make sure that your skimmers and your main drain are shut off, and that way you got a lot more suction power going to your vac port. I hope you found the video educational. If you did, drop us a like. Please follow us. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.